What is going on, everybody? Oh. Well, that would explain that. Okay. Oh. Okay. Might need a minute. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. Okay. So many phones. So many phones. All right. Just gonna do a quick hello to everybody. I see Brandon, I see Perry, I see Justin, I see Dennis, I see Mark, North American Trains, how's it going? Highland Husky, how's it going? Rafe, Shane's Trains, Robert Sacco, how's it going, man? We've got Cornell, how's it going? Dennis, I don't know if I said Dennis yet, and Mark, hello Mark. Thank you for that video earlier, that was awesome. Alright, so we've got 21 people watching. What is going on, everybody? I am GVO Go Home. I want to welcome you back to another episode of GVO After Dark. This is episode number 19. I lost track after episode 5, so I have to write it down now. We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Picture quality is good. If the screen can get my entire beard in the picture, yeah. So. Alrighty. So we've got a lot, as you can see. I always have a plethora of stuff to show you every single month. We've got some Rapido stuff, some Woodland Scenic stuff, and a little bit of a couple of extra things. I wanted to talk about detail parts and how we can bring our layouts to life in this episode. So we've got a little bit of everything here. Not a lot, but as much as I could fit onto this itty-bitty table. I wonder if people are actually talking and I cannot see it. So I'm just checking here. Okay, yeah, so we're not going to use this one because that's not updating. Ooh, all right. We've got Roy. How's it going, Roy? Hope all is well. Yeah, I know, right? So, like, I've got my phone, which is filming, and then we've got an extra phone, and then I couldn't even find that. It was literally hidden right here. So then I grabbed my wife's phone, because I want to be able to, watch the chat here, and obviously talk about everything. So it's a nice, neat little thing here that fits just on the side. James and John, welcome. All right, so today, in today's or this month's episode, we've got announcements from Walters, Rapido, and Athearn. We have new arrivals in store from Rapido, Intermountain, and Athearn. News going in another direction. Tea time. We got the Rapido diners in. And bring your layout to life. As I said, I want to show you some ways that we can actually bring our layout to life, more or less. And we got different, different news things as far as what's going on with my channel, with the layout, and life in general. We'll do a Q&A after in regards to that. Also, doing a couple of projects at the same time. And, this is normally where I talk about what's on the move, and currently nothing is moving. As you can see, I just got the O&R cars parked. They're not doing too much. We'll get into more of that later. But first, we'll talk news. I hope everybody is doing well, and everybody's staying safe out there. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Tom, Strange and Things. How's it going, Tom? Dave, how's it going? South Brooklyn Railroad. How's it going? I mean, I'd like to think that cool kids hang out here, but it's just me. So, but anyways, this month in news, Go Transit will be replacing trains with buses on weekdays and weekends to accommodate expected work to the Barrie Line project, with transit rides down by as much as 90% as a result of COVID-19. Metrolinx is finding ways to use this situation to the advantage of its customers by speeding up construction on the Barrie Line. A few weeks ago, overnight construction began in the Davenport area, building a diversion track on the east side of the corridor. This will allow construction teams to access the main line to start upgrades that will make the train service more reliable and allow further expansion in the future. Regular GO train service will still be available during morning and evening rush hours. That's for all my Toronto guys, and there's a few, I guess. That was it for news. That was literally it. It's short and sweet. Thanks to Dennis for sending that out to me. Dennis from Barrie, Ontario. Good old Barrie. Good old Dennis. So, thank you for that. So we've got some announcements, obviously, this month, and we're going to talk about those. If it looks like I'm looking at my phone, it's just because it keeps closing, so I gotta reopen the phone to see what everybody is saying. SD70 ACE fan, how's it going? South Brooklyn. Hey Rafe, how's it going? So we got some announcements, new announcements. The HO scale, Walther's Jordan Spreader. Those were excellent models. Well, they're doing a second run. To be available will be CN, CP, CB&Q, DNH, GB&W, UP, and of course a Mo service one as well. MSRP for those are $113. It's 10 new schemes, and those will be ready for delivery in October of this year. Walters is also doing a modern lumber transload kit. So this is a building kit. It basically comes with 2 open storage sheds, a concrete paved pad, a main office with interior lumber racks, and a trackside ramp for the unloading and loading of the actual lumber. And you actually get 10 stacks of lumber included in that kit, and it will be available this June. So I'm excited for that. I'm probably going to get 2 of those kits, mash them together, make one massive lumber facility type thing. And it's cool the way they do it. They put the grooves in the concrete, so you remove ties from the rails, and then you glue the rails to the concrete, and it looks like it's just paved over, and you don't have to do any of that stuff. Just in case you don't like doing that kind of work. It is tedious and messy, as you might have seen from past work that I've done, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just really messy. I don't know. But those will be an MSRP of $60. Looking forward to those. HO scale Rapido trains. We've got a special run of the New Look bus, which is going to be their second run. But Otter Valley is actually going to do a London bus. That's right. So London, Ontario, New Look bus. There's going to be about 5 or 6 road names, and they're taking pre-orders right now for those. And hopefully, if they get enough pre-orders, then they'll be able to do that. So head on over to ovrtrains.com and place your pre-order for a bunch, because you need a bunch, especially if you're doing the London area as well. They've got a lot of the Ontario Southland down that way as well, so it might be right up your alley if that's what you model. Also, we've got Athearn, HO scale, 60-foot Gunderson box cars, 3 road numbers of each. We've got CP, TTX, GACX, rail box, of course. You can get a single for MSRP $46 or a 3-pack for $133. Yeah, also, HO scale roundhouse GP 60 locomotives, DC $163 or DCC non-sound for $202. And you can pre-order those now. They have a bunch of road names actually available, and most of them are 2 different color schemes. So you got VTR, NS. There's the NS Operation Lifesaver, ED or EMDX, SP, D and RGW, CSX, and BNSF. Those will be due in April of 2000. No, sorry, 2000. Yeah, 2021. I was almost laughing at the year. So that's pretty crazy, because there's a lot of stuff that is still being produced, a lot that is still coming out. Never a dull moment in this hobby. Speaking of never having a dull moment, Athearn, I heard through the grapevine, is making an announcement tomorrow, which is Friday. I hear it's about 4 o'clock that they're releasing that announcement, and it could very well be Amtrak. Some sort of Amtrak announcement, possibly a new P42 or P40 locomotive. If that's the case, I definitely want some new VIA P42s, possibly even the Love the Way scheme, the newest one. You can't get any more modern than that. All silver with the big yellow V on the side. That'd be great. That's on my wish list. So Athearn, if you're watching, probably not. You know, we would love some of those up in Canada. New in store, though. Let's talk about the stuff that is just hitting the shelves now. See what everyone's saying. Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow. I think 4 o'clock our time, unless it's 4 o'clock their time. But either way, just keep an eye out for their newsletter. Or if you have them on Facebook, I'm sure they might do a Facebook thing as well. I have no idea, but that would definitely be great. Yes. Now, as much as we would love Rapido to do a P42 with all the other companies that have done a P42, I don't think it would be on their radar. But we've seen many companies do the F40. No one does it quite like Rapido, so it would be nice to see them do a P42 as well. Yeah, Dan would be the guy to go to, for sure. Okay, so new in store. So we've got the Rapido Diner cars. They've hit the shelves this past week, maybe 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago. Lots of different road names, like the ONR. There was two different ones for that. I got the Moose River. It seemed like the better of the two, seeing as how the other one's just a numbered car. Then we've got a VIA one here. There's also a CN and NYC and Amtrak. The CN, there was 2 different colors for that. We're going to crack this VIA one open after, and we'll take a look at the Ontario Northland one. If you guys missed my unboxing for the Ontario Northland one, it's online there. You can check that out anytime. It's not super thorough because I missed a couple of things actually, such as the wand that it comes with. It was actually taped to the underside of the plastic, and I didn't even look under the plastic. I just opened it. I think I was just too overwhelmed by the actual car itself, and I missed the wand that was on the underside. I have no power going to my track, so I didn't bother, turning on the lights or anything. But overall, the look is really nice. So we'll crack open the VIA one after. Those go for $107. Most of the prices, like I always do, I give you the prices for Otter Valley. So, they're the only place that I shop from, really. So, If I'm going to give you the best price, I'm going to give you the best price. And they would be the ones that I usually give. So 107 each. And I think they're all out of Moose River now. I think there was one left earlier, and I was talking to Lauren, and the last Moose River went really fast. Now, they also got in a new product. It's not a model train yet, it's a train. So it's by a company called Streetlights Arts. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's actually wall art, and I believe it's made from wood. And it looks like the front end of a locomotive. It lights up, and they're painted really well, nicely detailed, and they're accurate for whatever locomotive that they are running. So there was the CN, there's CP, Wabash, Norfolk Southern, and each one has like a different type of locomotive. For example, the CP one was a -9, and the Wabash was an F7. So different locomotive types, fronts, those are now available through Otter Valley, and they range in price from about $310 to $355 each, but they're really nice. And I know he's been in contact with the actual company to get a lot more Canadian short line locomotives. So we might see an OSR or a ONR locomotive front, maybe even a VIA, who knows. But they are currently in the process of putting those together. So we'll be looking forward to seeing some of those in the future, especially if it's wall art that lights up. Like, to me, that sounds crazy, but it's real. It is very, very real. You're a wizard. Hey, Justin, I already told you, you don't spend 5 years at Hogwarts and learn nothing. So, if I'm a wizard, that's probably why. Everything trains. How's it going? Go Transit fan. I'm a fan of you, Go Transit fan. And oh wait, somebody said, "Hey Sparky." There's Sparky. How's it going, Sparky? David Z to G. How's it going, Dave? Lots of Daves and Justins and Brandons in the chat right now. We've got we're like on the peak of 40 people. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. Also, I have a contest thing later. It's not really a huge contest thing. It's not even really a contest. I don't know why I'm calling it a contest. But either way, after the Streetlights Arts, there is the new HO scale Intermountain 40-foot box cars. They are from the year 1973. AAR, $42 each. You've got the option for the ONR, DL and W, BNO, CNO, NYC, and the CN. Now apparently Otter Valley's all out of the CN, but there's a second lot on their way. So if you guys are hoping to get some of those in CN, hold tight, give it a week or two, and those should be back in stock. Also, we have Athearn 52-foot mill gondolas. 3 numbers. They're the Railgons. Now those ones are really nice. They also come in BNSF, TFM, and Oregon Steel. And plus there's more. I'm pretty sure I can only fit so many names on my paper here, and that's why I put plus more. So I'm sure there's lots of road names to choose from. But those Railgons are going quick. Going, Railgon, more or less. At least that's what I'm saying. So hurry up. Also, Otter Valley is in the process of restocking a lot of out-of-production models from Sylvan. They are resin kits, yes, but they have a mixture of cars, boats, rail cars, like the ore cars, O-R-E, ore, that kind of ore, not the O-R, but yeah, ore cars, in the CN and Ontario Northland, both the short ore cars and the longer ones. They come with decals, which is great because then you don't have to go fishing for the correct decals for the kit. They come with them. They range from, well, they're $31 for a single ore car, or it's $135 for a 5-pack. I think it's a 5-pack, which is great because it's a short train, right? And you number them, you paint them yourself, put them together, and that's awesome. I'm looking forward to getting some of those myself. Wow. I shouldn't have had that monster right before this show because I am talking way too fast. Oh, okay. Okay. Robin, how's it going? Matthew, how's it going? Indian Head Valley, how's it going? Good price for the right. Yes, absolutely. And they've been long out of production. It is a Canadian company. So for those of you who are, you know, Canadian at heart and you want to support local, Sylvan would be the way to go. Of course, it takes a bit more work to get something like that on the rails, obviously with the paint, and they are resin kits, so they can only print so many at a time, or mold so many at a time. So they are in limited numbers, but obviously they top them back up, obviously, every time they sell out. So keep that in mind next time when, you know, you're doing a bit of shopping. So as far as next month, it's pretty huge. So every year I look forward to the Rapido barbecue that happens, and it's usually at the end of June. Now, because of everything that's going on, it probably won't be happening this year. However, that's not going to stop them from announcing new product. And just like the past several years, it's always just before, but during the same week as GVO After Dark. So I will be definitely looking forward to going over all those and discussing those with you guys. And Rapido, they make excellent quality stuff. So I always get really excited when they announce new product, especially now knowing, if you guys have watched the last couple of lives they have done, because they do the, you know, let's ask Jason anything. Obviously, if it's within, you know, the model train or train, you know, category, they've been very open with discussing things that they plan to do. For example, more Go Transit stuff. So really excited to see what they do come up with next. And I'm still waiting on my HO scale turbo train. I know lots of other people are too. It's about time that they have a new turbo train manufactured and in store for everybody to buy and enjoy, because I know that they would totally kill it too. So Go Transit fan, this is my first time in the GVO live stream. Well, just to let you know, we do this once a month. And by we, I mean normally it's me and co-hosts and guests. But because of everything, it's just little old me. But I always come with a fully packed show. I always show new product. I give tips and tricks. And a few other surprises, of course. Yeah. We usually have a train going too, but, well, I'll get into that later. But why don't I dig into some of this, because, I mean, I think it's about that time. I've done the news, and I've talked about all the new stuff that's coming out. So, first off, I want to show you guys a couple of things here. Now, these are brand new. I'm going to show you this first. If I can get this out here. So these are the ITLA scale models, wood floor for the drop end gondola. Basically, it's a wood kit, and you honestly don't even need to put it together. Now, my gondolas, I believe the real ones are metal floor, but if you have gondolas that are, whether they're Rapido, because I've got Rapido ones, but there's also Proto 2000. Just make sure you get the right one for the right car. But basically for $15, I believe it was 15. Yes, so $15 each. You can get them to fit a 53-foot Rapido or a 52-foot Proto 2000. Now you can also get ones for flat cars, so a 60-foot Walters flat car, or a 62-foot Atlas bulkhead, or a 60-foot Athearn bulkhead, and basically comes like this, right? It's wood, and just, I mean, I already started popping this out, not thinking, but I'm just gonna pop the rest of it out here. Pop, pop, pop. Now, it's already basically, it looks like it's weathered. It looks like it's a wood floor. I'm going to see if I can show you that there. There you go. Right? Now, it does say in the instructions there to use some glue, and you glue it down. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit it in here for now, because it just sits in there very nicely. I think it's a good fit. Now, I'm going to show you the difference between the two, and you guys can let me know what you think. Obviously, that was the installation of it, and that was it. I popped it out and I put it in. I mean, you can glue it down. I don't even care. So this is my janky weathering job. Oof. There's dust in there, and there's a little bit of powder, but that's mine. That's my version of that. It's not amazing, but it's rusty, so it is what it is. And then this is with the ITLA, which is obviously new to Otter Valley. They started getting more of these products in. They've got obviously the flat, the inside flats there for that. And they also have buildings and whatnot, all the wood kits. I think it looks cool. I honestly, yeah, for $15, I mean, I've got like 13 cars. So it definitely adds up. But if you're looking to add detail to your rolling stock, it's not just about, you know, weathering them or changing your couplers, making the couplers work a little bit better. It's also, what are you putting on the inside, right? You can definitely put loads, but also you can add a wood floor to make it look a little bit more realistic. I like it. I like it. That's definitely a win. Now I gotta do the other 12 so that they all match, but yeah, no rush for that. Lorne is in the chat. How's it going, Lorne? Rick Bailey, hey Rick, how's it going? Oh, perfect. Thanks, David, because, yeah, basically, I film everything from my cell phone now. The verdict being it was the computer that was causing me those slow speeds. Right now, I'm able to film this live right from my iPhone X or XR or something like that. And I've done a couple of lives in the past without any real issues. So it was most likely just the laptop I was using. But I'm okay using the cell phone, so it works, and I couldn't be happier. It seems a lot better, and I've had people tell me that it works out a lot better. So okay, so we did the wood kits. Next, I want to talk about actually the fence. So obviously Woodland Scenics, they do a number of things. You guys have seen these on the live show before. I can't say enough good things about these because they are amazing. I just got my second one. This one I took off the layout because it's, you know, well, more about that later. I've got a second one because I really want to do more industries and give my industries more detail. So these, the fences themselves, they're 17 bucks each, right? So you get all this. I think it came out to being about 27 inches long, but you can, obviously you can make it curved, You can make it squared so it's more kitty cornered, and then, you know, whatever. They have the little forks on the bottom, so you stick them down into whether it's the foam or you know, if you pre-drilled like the little holes for in the wood, if you're doing the wood top, doesn't matter. I normally do the foam, so I make a little pinhole, and then I can put them down in, and it holds it really well. Excellent product. So these will be available to you in the chain link fence, which is really hard to find. I really want to find a chain link fence. Barbed wire, wood rail, picket, privacy, and log. So these ones here, this is the privacy fence. It's like a wood fence. It comes pre-weathered with the dirt along the bottom, both sides as well. There's a little gate there. It is closed, and yeah, these are fun. I love it, and it's the smallest thing. Keeping in mind when it comes to detail, it's the smallest thing that makes the biggest difference, and that's what this is all about here. So, hats off to Woodland Scenics for this product. I'm really excited to see what else they come out with, because yeah, they keep knocking this thing out of the park here. Also, Pico. Now these I believe these are somewhat new to Otter Valley as well. These are little grass tufts, and they're peel and stick. So basically, if you've got those areas, maybe like a yard or an area that you might have maybe a little bit of a spotch of a larger, like you've got some short grass, but then you've got like a little rough patch maybe, or you have dirt in around it. These just peel and stick, so you peel it off like a little sticker and you put it where you need to put it. There's honestly no glue involved here, unless you do want to add a little bit of glue just to make sure it does hold. But yeah, these look great as well if you put them along the fence. So I'm going to see if I can do this here. I mean, it won't look right like this, but yeah, I don't know. It's easier to show on an actual display, but I didn't have time for all that. But you get quite a fair amount, and that'll run you about $11 for all these. And there's many different colors or shades that you can go with. This one here is the, which one is this? Summer Grass Tufts. There was like a brown grass, a dead grass, a light green, and then they also offer flowered ones as well, which are really nice. Just for those areas that there might be some, you know, lightly colored flowers growing randomly, wild flowers, I guess you could say. And for $11, you can't go wrong. So, and I have to keep opening this. It's annoying, but whatever. Perry, did I say hi to Perry yet? I'm sorry, Perry. SMT trains, Motown models, and James. Wow, I got lost in the thing here. Okay, RDNT, how's it going? All right. So next up, we've got some more tufts, and these here are again peel and stick. This is Prairie Grass. So these could be, if you've got like a field, or maybe along the side of your embankment for, you know, your main line. So just off the main, just past the ballast there. You can put these going right along the bush or shrubbery. If you've got some other tall grass, it would mix in. They look really nice. And you get 4, 8, 16, you get about 20 in there. Yeah, 20 pieces. Again, there's many different colors as well with this. And again, peel and stick. They recommend to use a little pair of tweezers near the bottom. You pull it off and you place it ever so carefully. Again, I wish I could do a little display here for you to show you, but it is what it is. I'm just going to show you the product for now, and then you'll just have to stay tuned just to see how we use it. So there's that. Okay, and I'm just gonna, if anybody has questions throughout as well, I don't feel like I'm ignoring. Okay, so, nope. All right. So now it brings us to the Woodland Scenics lights. I just want to see if I can kind of move this along here, and then I'm going to move some of the stuff out of the way because I do require a bit more room. So I'm just going to push this stuff up. I don't know if it's on the rail or not. Either way. Should have said intermission. Eventually I'm going to need an intermission. The display case looks empty. Yeah, that's all I got left. So. So, next up. So I'm just going to move stuff that we did talk about over to the side. If you guys want to see more of that stuff after, then we can definitely do that. All right, so when it comes to adding more life to your layout, I'm a huge advocate for the Woodland Scenics Light Hub system. If you guys follow me or you have at least heard me talk about my level of electrical skill, you'll know that I am terrified of doing electrical stuff. And yeah, I mean, I could probably do it if it came down to it, but I try to keep everything simple. And keeping everything simple, for me, means plug and play. Plug and play, 100%. That's what the Woodland Scenics lights do. I've been using them for quite some time, so I'm gonna show you roughly how I set it up, and I'm gonna show you a couple of different variations of that, just so that if you're ever considering it, then maybe you might go with the same kind of process for it. So this here, I'm gonna show you also some of the things that you can get, some of the things that are available to you as well. So this here is basically how I set up my hub system. So you take your wood, right? And depending on how many lights you actually need in one area. So the blue hubs is just your extension. So you can have up to 2 of these, and each one of these will hold 4 of your red hubs, making a total of 8 red hubs. And each red hub can house 4 lights each. So you're looking at about, let's see, 4, 32, something, over 30 some odd lights, individual lights. Now that's just if you're using, let's say for example, this here is a nano light. So this is something that I would use in a very small area, very tight. For example, like right above, like in my train station there, I had about 3 of these right on the underside. It would run down the pole and then right down under the layout. And then when it's on, it lights this small area here. Plugs in very simply. There's only one way to plug this in, of course, and I plug it into any one of the red ports, just like that, and it's already plugged in. So when you have the red lights, I'm just going to see if I'm missing anything here. Sorry. So when it comes to the lights, basically, when you get your hub extension, it comes with 4 cables. That's basically how it looks there. Whoop, I dropped my book. That's basically how it looks. And you get 4 cables included, so that you can, basically all you need is 4 of these, or you know, 1, doesn't matter. When you pick up one of those, right, you get, in some cases you get a light with it. This one here includes just 4 just plug light ports, dimmer controls, and easy auxiliary switch. So this one here does not come with any lights, but you can get one that does come with 2. You end up paying a little bit more because you get the lights with it, but to me that doesn't really matter too much, because sometimes you want nanos, and it comes with these ones here, the regular. It has like a little peel and stick to the one side, and the LED is the little yellow dot. So you put that maybe in a building, and it'll light the entire inside of the building. Sometimes people put it on the floor, or you can put it on the top. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you the difference between the 2 of these as well. So I'm just going to plug this one in here. There we go. Okay. Now also, what you would need, besides the hubs in the extension hub, you've got the option to add a toggle switch, right? So if you're adding this, you're going to wire this to the blue hub, because that's what you're going to control the power to, on and off. Very straightforward. And that's also where you're going to run your power cable. So you can get a specific power cable, and that works specifically with Woodland Scenics. And I'm pretty sure it's power in. I'm almost positive. All right, and where is my on and off going to on and off control? Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, so you put the power into the in on here, and if you want to add another one of these, you run the out power to your next blue hub, which would be maybe right beside it or wherever, and then you just load up your red ones here. You want to attach that to your fascia. That's what I did anyways, so that you can access it without having to have this accessible. So this would go under the layout, and then you have this readily available to you on the fascia. So obviously on, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Looks like a little firefly. Not very bright, but you can change the brightness. Right, let me see if I can do it like this here. See? Easy. And there you go. So depending on where you're putting it, I even put these. These are the ones I use under my tunnel there. So I drilled a little hole, and I was able to feed it through, and then you hot glue it in place, because I mean that's how I do it anyways. I hot glued it, and then yeah, it's basically just a matter of turning it off and turning it on. And that's what I use in the very small areas where you don't want a big honking thing like that. And this here, let's see if that is as bright as it goes. Yeah, that's the brightest it'll go, but it lights up an area, or it'll light up a house. Again, very convenient. And it was just a matter of plugging it in, adding power, and away she goes. Again, they make it very easy. Anyone can do it. Put them in my beard. I don't think I want to light up beard. I don't know if it's yeah, I don't know. Oh, Mark. Let's see. All right. So then there's one more as well, and it's the Streetlights. I already have a pack of these. I think I have, yep, I have one sitting here. Now it comes as just a gray lamppost. I'm pretty sure, I think I would want to paint it black, which really doesn't seem like an issue because you just use some acrylic paint or whatever and a small brush and you paint it black. Now these ones are done a little bit differently. You get 3 in a pack. Well, here, so that's one version, right? Looks like a lamppost because it is a lamppost, so it works. And then you get these ones here, which are same thing, just a different style of lamppost. Now the reason why these ones are different than the other versions of the lights is because the wire itself is way smaller. And these lights here, you get one of these plugs with it, which plug into your red hub. Totally fine. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Also, keep your ties in little. I mean, they come in the, you know, when you get garbage bags. What are they called? Ties, wire ties, or something. Because obviously, if you've got an abundance, you can always, you know, wrap them together. These are normally behind, and you don't even see that, so it cleans it up really nice. So it'll normally look like that. You won't even see these extra wires here, and you have your holes, so the wire goes through the hole. I just didn't bother feeding them through to do all that, because that's a lot of work, especially after taking it all apart. So, yeah, there's that. But, so this one here is a little different. So everybody knows that with electrical, you get a positive and a negative. In this case, your positive and negative are made up of red wire and black wire. You get this little box here with the little push things on the top. So obviously one port is dedicated for red and one is dedicated for the black. And each post also has a red and black wire. There we go. So I'm just going to put those over there. Now these lampposts are really nice. That seems fancy. It's green. Yeah, it's like it's green. And basically what you're doing, you're going to drill like a little hole on your layout, wherever you're putting it, and then you just drop your wires through, and it'll literally sit just like that on your layout. I got these for a train station, just to fit through the sidewalk, and the sidewalk would hold it in place. You could glue it to the sidewalk if you wanted to, if you don't ever plan on reusing it, of course. But, okay. But yeah, because parking lots also, they need light too. Now the ends of these wires are pre-threaded, which is good, because that's a very small wire. And you guys will see that my struggle here is very minimal. There we go. There's one. And there's two. Oh, was. No. Why? Come on. So I had the same issue, but like, you have to put all 3 through. So all the 3 reds and all the 3 black wires, you have to put all 3 of them in. There we go. I wasn't putting it in far enough. Okay. Wow. So in a case like this, you can have 3 lights on one little thing here, and then you plug that into your hub. There we go. And when we turn it on, hopefully it works. Oh, it works. Great. Fantastic. And again, with these, you can dim it because it's a dim light, or brighter than bright. And again, it adds a lot of realism to your layout. For anybody who's seen my scene here and where I put the bus terminal, I had some of those lights, and it lights up just this area here, and basically it's really good for parking lots and whatnot, because the entire parking lot isn't lit up. There's a lot of shadow and whatnot, but the lights just add that certain look that just it makes it look, you know, more realistic. Again, the smallest thing, and it adds a lot of detail. Anybody who's seen Woodland Scenic set up their, you know, their houses and their street system, and they have a whole, like, it'll look like a neighborhood. Obviously, those are professionally done, but at the same time, it looks very, very easy to do when you have the right product. So this is just one of many things that you can use to bring your layout to life. And I'm really happy with this product. So yeah, they're awesome. So now, as for pricing, I do have some pricing here for you. Scenic lights. So the hubs. So the hub just by itself is $17. Same with these here. Lamp posts. So for a 3-pack of lights, it's $25 to $27, depending on, you know, the more detailed ones that you get. The on and off switch, which gives you the ability to turn it off and on. Otherwise, it's on all the time. That's $11. The power, remember how I ran a power cable to it? So the power bar itself is $21. You can get extension cables. So let's see, where is my extension cable? Was that an extension? Yeah, that's an extension cable. So with the extension cables, it actually allows you, and I'm going to show you another way we can set this up here. Okay. It's harder to get it out of the package than it is to actually use. that's my review. All right. So let's say, for example, this piece here is under your layout. So you've got these hubs here, which right above this is a whole scene. And let's say you have more scenery down the way, maybe a good 10, 15 feet. You can actually run, you can, because it comes with screws, so you screw it to the underside of the layout, and then you can run this with an extension cable, which these are your extensions. It plugs into it, it's male, female, and then the other end plugs into, let's say, a red hub. Or sorry, this one would go into the blue hub. And that's, you know what I mean? That's pretty far. That's about 4 feet right there. Plus the extension here, which is probably another 5 feet. So you have another section down the way that is 5 feet away, but it's still getting power from your central electronic, we'll call this the hub port section. I don't know what you'd call it, but yeah. So that's crazy. And then you can have another 4 lights. And then if you wanted, you can make this a blue hub, connect this one to your blue hub, and then you can put 4 of these right along here to add even more lights, and have this going to a blue hub here. And then you have a whole other section with even more lights. So that is pretty cool. I think I talked your ear off long enough about these lights here, but they are really nice, and it's definitely worth the investment for sure. Some people they're old school, they wire everything themselves, but for me, again, I'm not a huge fan of doing electrical, so this here makes my life much easier. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh well. Whatever. Okay. Also, you can get different LEDs, different colors, and there's also one hub that I did not get. It's yellow. So when you have a yellow hub connected, and the yellow takes the place of one of the red ones, so you can still plug it into your blue hub to get even more lights. But the yellow one gives you temporary lighting. So if you imagine you've got 4 lights connected to it, and they're going to 4 different rooms in a house. it'll look like somebody is turning off the lights in one room, going into another room, turning on the lights. And then maybe the lights upstairs go out for some reason. Maybe somebody is going to sleep. So the lights turn off upstairs, and then the lights downstairs will turn off, and it cycles through, and you can change the speed as to how long it takes for each light to actually go out or come back on, which is even adding even more realism if you really think about it. Yeah, and there's also blinking lights too, blinking nanos. So if you've got, let's say, a tall structure, obviously planes that are flying low, they need to have a little red flashing light at the top of the building to let airplanes know, whoa, hold on, there's a tall building here. Make sure you're above that. Otherwise, low flying planes will crash into it. But yeah, so that was pretty crazy. So again, there's only a couple of ways that you can actually add extra detail to your layout. We've got the lights, we've got the wood floor in your cars, graffiti. They sell graffiti in a very small form, so do graffiti throughout. Whatever's necessary depending on your landscape and all that. Bushes, trees, weeds, a little bit of everything there. So yeah, again, it's virtually endless, and you can do anything that really you can think of, and products like Woodland Scenics products make that possible. So cheers to them for that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, right. Yeah, Greg. Hey, Greg, how's it going? I don't think I'll be tagging these with any graffiti. I try to keep my passenger stuff as clean as possible, to an extent, of course. But yeah, especially like these bad boys, I won't be hitting them up with any dirt whatsoever, just because they're so clean. They're so crisp. I love how bright they are, and yeah, I would not dirty those at all. Unlike the O&R box cars, but yeah, no, they're awesome like that. So I doubt it. I doubt it. Welcome to the live as well. Welcome to the After Dark. All right, so we went through Tufts, Woodland Scenics, chain link fence. Okay. Also, now you guys know that I do 2 live shows a month. I do the GVO After Dark, which is the last Thursday every month, or of every month, so it's the last Thursday. But 2 weeks before that, I do a GVO, running trains live, where basically I'll pick a spot on the layout, and I run trains. I'll do somewhat of an operation. And we just, last month we did somewhat of a rail fanning theme, where I would put the camera somewhere and we would watch for the trains, and the trains would go by, and that was fun. I had lots of fun doing that. But because of recent events, which we'll get into, it doesn't hurt to get into that now. But basically, I'm moving, right? And for those who are not aware, or those who are just new to the channel, I'm moving, unfortunately. But fortunately, it's to a bigger house, 5 minutes down the road. Yeah, I had a lot of people say, "Oh, are you moving back to Toronto? Are you moving back?" No, unfortunately not. I live 30 minutes outside of Ottawa in a little town called Stittsville, and known for nothing. But yeah, so from my house right now to the new house, it's about 5 minutes. Now, I've already been there. I've checked out the basement, and I can tell you that this current layout, as it stands, will not fit in the new space. I could take bits and pieces of it and reshape it to the new basement, to the new train room. uh, but I don't feel like doing that. When we're building our layouts and whatnot, we learn a lot, and we always have those things where we say, well, when I do my next layout, yada yada yada, and during my entire process with this layout, as much fun as I did have, with all the time and effort put into it, there's still those things where you say, well, on my next layout, I'm going to do this instead. And you know what? This is a perfect opportunity for that. It's going to be layout number 6 if you're keeping count. But I don't care. Everything's a learning experience. At the end of the day, these are just things. It's my hobby. I love doing it. This is what I do. This is my sanity right here. Yeah, I'm going to miss it. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's just things. It's just stuff, So it really doesn't hurt to build something new. And obviously, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to be very vague because I don't have any hard answers for you that are going to be yes, this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to look like. I don't have any of that for you, but if you've got some general questions for me, I'd be more than happy to answer any and all questions that you have. You can just shout them out at any point. So obviously you guys know that I run Ontario Northland as my primary, Go Transit and Via Rail as my secondary, and way in the back there, CN. That's, I've got a couple of CNs as well, but I'll probably get more in the future. So I'm going to be sticking to Ontario Northland because it's my favorite. That's my bread and butter right there. Ontario Northland is a huge part of this, and honestly, these passenger cars here are a huge reason of why I love Ontario Northland. I just look at them and it just makes me smile. So that's what I'm gonna stick with is the Ontario Northland as my primary. That means I'm gonna be doing still an Ontario Northland theme, as per what area in Ontario Northland. I was thinking of expanding and playing off of the Englehart, Ontario yard, which is a yard and train station all in one. So that might be what I would build from. I'd build that and then go from there. Robin wants to know how big the new layout room is. I don't have the exact measurements. I felt weird because when you go to the house to look at it, I didn't want to be that guy to pull out my tape measure and be like, okay, how many walls am I allowed to knock down? Because technically you can't. But it's a fair size room. Now, one thing that I was thinking that I really want to do is having a lower level, which would be staging, maybe a yard, obviously, and then having an upper level, which would have, my bridges and scenery and industries, stuff like that. I've been talking a lot with Brendan, which is Bubs. You can see Bubs there. He says it's going to be a bigger layout. Now, I know that it's going to be taller. There's going to be a lot more to it. But what it lacks, or what it will lack in width, because this room here, I measured it, and it's about 17 feet long and 14 or 15 feet that way. The room itself is a very odd shape, and at one end of the room there's actually an office, and my wife is going to be taking that office for her work, which is exciting because it's not exciting for you guys, it won't matter to you guys at all, but she's really needed an office for quite some time. So like I said, it's a bigger house, and there's a lot more room for activities. And I think the basement, because I won't need my TV and my couch down there, I get a lot more room for trains. And one of the things that I did mention to, like I've talked to Mark about this already, and I've talked to Brandon about this. One of the things that it definitely will not have is duck unders. Sorry, I'm getting older. No more duck unders. My knees can't handle it, my back can't handle it. Yeah, even at 35, I know, it sucks. If you can stay young forever, do it. For me, it's impossible, so. Yeah, I mean, David says, my teaser video for the big news reveal was too dark. Some of us in the community were worried. At least it's good. Well, one thing is it shows you care, and I think that's the coolest thing. I know we've all been through good times and bad times, and depending on how you look at the situation where, you know, this layout is no more, you know, there's been a lot worse circumstances, even just from myself. So this one here, I'm going to chalk this up to being a positive. It sucks having to move though. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, I hate moving. And ever since moving to Ottawa, or the Ottawa area, this will be house number 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be house number 4, and that's just in the time that I've lived in Ottawa. But I'm stoked to build a new layout in my new layout room, and you guys get to follow along, start to finish. You guys get to see all the things that I hated about this one, and where I'm going to make my improvements to make it an even bigger and better layout. Bigger in the sense where, you know, hype. I'm going to call it hype, because I mean, I've gotten a lot of compliments on this, and I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I don't take compliments well, believe me, but I know I can do better than this. And that's always going to be our worst enemy at the end of the day. It's ourselves. So whatever it takes, I'm looking forward to the day that I'll be able to run trains again, do loops, and be able to do lives where I'm running trains again. But from the ashes, no. So what I'm gonna do? Well, first off, running trains. So next month, June 11th, is when I would be doing my next Running Trains live. So instead of you coming over to my channel to watch Running Trains live, I want you guys to go over to M&M Rails, because M&M Rails is going to do that for me next month in June. I really appreciate it. He's yet to do lives. I don't know if it's lives in general or just a live running of trains, but I'm stoked to see what he comes up with for running trains, especially, you know, because he's never done it before. So hats off to him. Thank you very much, Mark, for taking the reins on that for me while I sort this out. And everybody, you know, if you don't already sub to M&M Rails, go ahead and do that. He's in the chat here somewhere. I'm sure you guys already follow him, but if you don't, M&M Rails. So yeah, go watch on June the 11th. He's going to be running trains live from his train room. So that'll be fun. I'll be watching too. So most of my stuff, as you can see, is boxed up. And I wanted to kind of keep this for the live show, because I think that once it's gone, it's gonna look terrible. So right after this, like, I'm off all next week. This is all coming down. I'm trying to salvage what I can. I was selling off a lot of my switches. If you're on any of my Facebook groups there, I still have a whole bunch of number 8s. I might salvage some of them, but if anybody needs any number 8s, you can buy a little piece of my layout, add it to yours, and I'll give you a great deal. So, but yeah. Yes, go check out Mark's beard. Tell me what you think. Does it live up to the hype? And of course, GVO After Dark number 20. That's going to be June 25th. And we're going to talk about the Rapido live show that I know that they're going to do on like the Monday or Tuesday. They haven't really said much about it. If they say last minute that they are going to do a barbecue, hopefully I'm able to make it, because that would be great. But my actual move, when I'm actually moving, I like to get a little bit ahead of myself, which is fine. I'm being proactive. I start moving July the 1st. So in 1 month's time, I'm basically going to be already prepped, ready to go. And then I will be basically moving all my stuff over from the beginning of July to August. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing my live show, the July live show, from the new place. And I can give you guys a tour if I don't already do a video before that. So I'm really excited for that, because not only will I be in the new place, but also the LRC cars should also be in July. So get ready for a plethora of LRC car. I can't wait to show them off and talk about them. We'll talk about the differences and whatnot. That'll be really fun. So also there was another a bunch of other things. Like that's it, basically it for the move. I'm saving a lot of my buildings. I've kept all my rolling stock, all my locomotives. Yeah, backdrop, anything that I can salvage, I will salvage and save for the new layout. No, I did want to mention to you guys that when you're ordering, because I was talking earlier about new announcements, and I was talking about things that you can get from Otter Valley. Right now, they're actually taking pre-orders for a lot of new product, but they are not asking for a down payment on rolling stock. So any rolling stock that's on the website right now for pre-order, you can just pre-order it and you do not have to put money down. 0 down, which is great, because I mean a lot of people like to wait till the product comes in, but you can still reserve yours online. So if you need them, you can pre-order and you don't have to worry about putting any money down, which I said in like 4 different ways, but it all means the same thing. Okay, so the next big announcement, you guys that were watching last month. So you guys know that I was talking about the Andy Fletcher art. I'm going to show you, this is the one I had up on the wall. This is my Ontario Northland one. Most of my stuff is coming down obviously off the wall, but so I ordered that for myself, and I've got a couple other ones that I'm going to show you as well. I just wanted to talk about it one more time, because I want to let you know that Andy, he was really impressed, and he actually watched the live show, and he's, you know, he watches now too, and basically he asked me if I wanted to be a Canadian uplink. So he's down in the States. I believe he's in California, but there's no Canadian distributors right now for his art. So why not? So I'm going to start carrying a lot of his Canadian stuff. So Ontario Northland, Via Rail, CN, CP, and I'm going to pick out specific ones that I feel that would do really well here in Canada. And if you live in Canada and you want to order some, you can order them right from me. And I'm going to give you the option as well, if you want a frame, if you want it pre-framed, I can frame them for you. Or I can just send it out just as the print itself. Now, I'm gonna start with a few and see how well they do, of course. And if anybody does see any that they do want, you can just email me, GVO After Dark at hotmail.com. You can let me know if you're interested in any, and when they come in, I can let you know. And if you want to place an order, you can place an order through me, and I can have them shipped out to you as soon as possible. So besides Ontario Northland, because I love Ontario Northland, I'm going to do the CN as well. The CNs were really nice. Get a bunch of different locomotives there, right? For Canadian Pacific, for my Canadian Pacific guys, I'm going to be getting some of these, which are the military trains. Again, very nice. He does hand draw and color them all by hand. This one here, which I didn't frame this one yet, but this is basically how they come to me. Another one I'm going to do, obviously for all my Ontarians, Railroads of Ontario. Okay, so these are going to be available for you to purchase from me. Now, he is working on an exclusive one. I do want Ontario Southland as well, because again, I think it would do really well, and he's yet to do it. So he told me that he is working on it right now, and it'll come up when I do place the order to get them in here, and he'll ship them all out. Also, I was going to get the Via Rail one, which I don't have yet, so I'm going to order some Via Rail. And also the Pink Ribbon UP set, because I think that they make a really good gift for those of us who have a loved one that maybe loves trains and they are a cancer survivor. So again, I will be showing those off. I'll probably do a separate video when they all come in, and if you see any that you like, or if you even like any of the ones that I've already showed you, you can let me know, and I will order some extra ones for you. And with that, to kind of get things going and start things up, I'm going to do a giveaway. So for the first 8 customers I have, you will be all entered into a draw to win one of your choosing, so you get a free one. Now, if you're the first customer and you buy 8, I will just give you a free one of your choosing. If 2 people buy 4, it'll be 2 people in the contest, so on and so forth. But if you are interested in any of them, you will be entered into a contest to win one, and yeah, I'll ship them out to you. So that was the Andy Fletcher art, and if you do want to order directly from him, because I know that I do have some viewers that are in the States, you can just order directly from him or from his website, which is, I gotta find it. I'm gonna find it. It was like last month, so it's not too far. You can order it right from andyfletcherartist@gmail.com, or you can look it up on eBay, Andy Fletcher Trains, or you can go to the website customtrains.org. Now, I'm not going to bother typing that all in on the phone here because I'm going to just, I'm not the quickest typer. But yeah, I'm going to mostly do the Canadian stuff with a couple of, some of the more popular American road names. Maybe do some Conrail, some of the GB and W, something like that. And yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Again, not GVO After Dark @hotmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know what you're interested in, and you'll get the hookups for show. That was my pitch. via ONR, OSR, CN, CP Military, Trains of Ontario, and the Pink Ribbon UP set. Yeah, so I covered all that. Okay, good. Good. Harrison just hit 100, or sorry, no, not 100,000. Whoa, I'm surprised. Why not? But 10K. So SMT, congratulations on hitting 10,000 subscribers. What? That's crazy. Oh, he's such a cool kid. Oh man. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. Oh man, I can't even imagine. That's awesome. Let's see. Okay, what was seeing? Okay. So for everything trains, the one that I've seen that has the CN100 logo, there's 2 locomotives and I believe auto racks. So specialty ones like that, I could get in as well. I think even with the auto racks, you would probably like it because I know you're a big fan of those. But for you, because you're in the US, it would probably be cheaper for you to order direct. So you can check out his website. And yeah, let him know that I sent you. So next, diners. So we've got the Moose River here. Like I said, these are all sold out, the Moose River ones, and I can definitely see why. O&R passenger equipment does go really quick, and when it does go up online for sale, it does not last long, and it's usually super expensive. But these even run better than the old Super Continental cars. Just everything about them. Their new couplers, just like the Tempo cars, are amazing. And then detail on the underside, like all that piping, seriously, if you drop this car, like it's game over. And like I am like so thoroughly impressed. If you ever see like the bottom of one of these, it'll blow your mind. That's awesome. And then even on the inside, you've got the white tables with the red chairs, and then on the white tablecloth, there's a plate, which is white, and then you can see the little fork and knife on each side of the plate, which are silver. For obvious reasons, it's silverware. That's awesome. They've got the blinds in each window. They all seem to be at the same level compared to these, where some of them are higher, some of them are shut, but obviously it's, you know, it's more of a coach car, where, you know, if there's people in there, they want to, you know, but I don't see why it wouldn't be, you know, the same here. But they all seem to be at the same height. It doesn't bother me. It's just a detail that maybe they might have looked past. I don't know. And then with this one here, this is the VIA one. Now this isn't mine, this is Mark's, but I just get all his mail shipped to me right now because it's better that way, more convenient. And because he said it's okay. SMT, how's that 10,000 treating you? Congrats, man. Okay, so I'm gonna be very careful because this doesn't belong to me. And then I'm gonna have to pass this off to him once he's able to come over and play again. So you get a little baggie, you get your little water pitchers, and you get 1 coupler. They used to give you 2. They used to have 2 short on the car, and they used to give you 2 long. Now they only give you 1 extra one, and it's a long one. What the heck, man? Just kidding. It's fine. It's fine. And then, obviously, looking at all this stuff here, so you've got your exploded parts diagram with all the millions of little pieces. You guys have always seen those, and they give you the French and English Super Continental acknowledgements, truck information, limited 5-year warranty. Whatever, you can read that when you buy it. I don't want to read it all. And then there's a subscription order form for Model Railroad News. Man. Now, the one thing I didn't notice on the last car, there's the one there. See what I'm talking about? I had no idea it was taped to the underside. So that's where your wand is. Sorry, when you see the car, you're like, wow, you know, and all of a sudden nothing else really matters. Now I noticed that they don't really do the foam thing. It's all plastic. I guess it's cheaper, but you know, if you're throwing the car around, which you shouldn't be, because you know, for obvious reasons. Yeah, it puts it at risk of breaking even more so. So I'm going to be real careful here, because I'm going to have to rewrap this. Oh, it actually worked. Holy cow. Alright. So, I had KFC for dinner, so hopefully I got all that grease off my hands, and I don't mark up the car. Just kidding, I didn't have KFC. But you get your wrap there. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. So even looking at this one here, there's a lot of the same detailed parts. Obviously, you've got your separately applied grab irons all throughout. It looks like almost the exact same car. Each window has a silver frame going around it, which looks really nice. You've got your blue gates at each end, which are really nice too, because it matches the rest of the car. You get those amazing couplers, which they should really sell by the box load, so I can replace all my passenger equipment with these updated car couplers. Yeah, and even the tables on this one here, you're looking at red chairs, white tables. There's silverware in there. And yeah, honestly, these are solid cars. You know, there is lighting in there. There's most likely a capacitor so that when you hit like a dead piece of track, the lights don't go out, so they're staying on consistently. And the wheels are very smooth. I've had this one here on the tracks, and like I said, it's a lot smoother than older equipment. And yeah, you've got the little windows for the kitchen there. And again, if you look at the underside, you've got all the same piping. Got the Rapido logo. And this thing is like, the weight, I mean, I'm sure it's heavy enough, but it doesn't feel super heavy. Like, I've felt passenger cars that were a little bit heavier, and this has a lot to it. So, I don't know. We'll see how they stack up as far as rolling wise and going around the layout, but we'll have to wait till a later date to see that. As far as coupling though, they couple real nice. They roll real well. So very, very excited about this. And also like the fact that it's a very nice blue and yellow as well. Yeah, wow. These are really nice cars. So between that and obviously the Moose River, the diners themselves are definitely worth investing in. You know, again, they're like 100 and something. I forget. They're like 110 bucks. It's a lot for a passenger car, but that's still, you know, really good for what you're getting. And I think the ends, yeah, they have the spring ends as well. Yeah, they're awesome. You're going to be, okay, so Mark said that he's going to be running this on his live stream because he has two of the older Super Continental in the blue, plus that shiny new Rapido F7 that would be pulling them. So look for that. And I'm sure he's going to have them all lit up and it's going to look all shiny and stuff. So we're going to look forward to that. As far as their 5-year warranty goes, I mean, they've been pretty good. Like I got a used baggage car that I guess somebody was trying to turn it into a heavyweight baggage car, so they swapped out the trucks for like a 6-axle. But I didn't like that as much as the 4. And let me tell you, I messaged Jordan from Rapido. Within 24 hours, he had already replied to me. He had sent it off to the parts department, and within 3 to 5 days, which is normal mail, I had a set of brand new trucks that they had found and sent out to me. And that baggage car came out, I mean, about 10 years ago, I want to say. And they had spare parts, and they didn't charge me anything for it. Kudos to them. Kudos to Rapido for not only having like a quick response time, but for the hookup. And yeah, honestly, couldn't be happier. You know, I was thinking about actually getting some blue cars. There's a lot of rumors going around saying that there's going to be more Super Continental coach cars that get done. So I might wait until they put out a new run of those before I actually get more of the blue. By then I won't be able to get a diner because they'll be all sold out. But I mean, I'm okay with just 3 coach cars. That's what I normally did. That's what I did for my other Via set until I got a baggage. That's what I did with my Go Transit until I got an extra car. You know, I normally run about 3 or 4 when it comes to passenger. I was lucky enough to get a baggage and a diner to go with the 3 coaches here, and the steam car. Shout out to Greg F for that. He's the man. No. You weren't supposed to tell anybody. Okay, whatever. So like Mark got me that rotary dumper. I'm like, oh yeah? You know what? And then I got him the diner car because, I don't know, we're like that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, he honestly helps me out a lot with the show, and yeah, he's just as big of a part of this as I am, even though my name is in the title, I guess. I don't think of it like that, though. I just think of it as, you know, a safe space for trainiacs to go when you want to vent about trains. But yeah, the diner's actually Mark's, so he's gonna swing by, and I'm gonna have to socially toss it to him from a distance, and hopefully his catch is up to par. CN trains back up and running, but recovery will take several weeks. CN started to call back most of them. Yeah, there was a lot of layoffs as far as with CN. I have a friend that actually works for CN down in the Greater Toronto area, so he's always updating me on the all the doings that are going on. Fortunately, he was not one of the people that got laid off, but it was a lot of the intermodal guys that did get laid off, unfortunately. But yeah, they are calling them back now because things are starting to pick up again, which is good because I mean, it's already bad enough that you can't go outside. If you can't even go to work, or if you're getting laid off because you can't go to work, it just makes this whole situation a heck of a lot worse. I'm fortunate enough to be able to work from home, and it doesn't even look like I'm going to be going back to my actual office for quite some time. So I'm going to be probably working from home for the next year, which is great for me. I hate to be that guy, but I love working from home. Hot cooked meals every night instead of Subway or a sandwich that I make and take with me. It is what it is. But luckily, now this has been a huge thing, so I want to put this out there. I only get 50 megabytes per second speed at my current house. Now, I have to unfortunately change providers when I move to my new house, but I'll be able to get upwards. I could probably get even higher, but I'm settling with 150 megabytes per second on the download, which is probably more than enough for what I need. But I'm really excited to be able to get 3 times the speed that I have right now. So that'll make doing lives better. That'll make, you know, doing uploading better, downloading. My kids play video games online, so do I sometimes. So having a way faster internet speed will definitely help in the long run. But yeah, it's been a very chock-full month of different things and showing off all the neat stuff that I had. I really wanted to focus on the detail stuff because I think sometimes it gets overlooked. Where some people look at their layout and say, "How can I make it, a bit more realistic?" Well, I just gave you several ideas there as far as whether it's the rolling stock that you're using, your locomotives, or even just scenery itself. I'm glad that we were able to, talk about that and show off some of that stuff. And of course, the dining cars, which I think they look amazing. There's new stuff coming in all the time, so I always have something new to show you or to teach you. I don't know a lot, but for what I do know, I definitely like to share it. Or just talk about the hobby itself because it's the best hobby in the world. It's the greatest. So, go via GTA 5 session. Yeah, you know what? I do have PlayStation. Well, I have PlayStation and Xbox. I do have GTA 5. So GTA 6 might be out soon. There's been a lot of talk on that. But yeah, email me and I'll send you my gamer tag and then yeah. Still trying to hijack that train though. Thanks, Husky Mooch Squad. Um, I'd like to say that it takes me 5 minutes to put this together, but honestly, it's like the first week of the month, I do absolutely nothing, and then the rest of the month is okay. What am I gonna do for the live show? Sometimes I'm lucky enough where somebody sends me a news article. Other times I do find one on my own, but I always give kudos to those who do send them to me. So if anybody does find a news article and I read it out on here, I definitely give you a shout out. And it's obviously appreciated as well. As for everything else, I usually go off of what's new. Like I said, they get new things in all the time, and diners were the big one this month. As for the month of June, who knows? A lot of things got delayed. Like these were supposed to be out in March, just in time for my birthday. So for them to show up 2 months later, obvious reasons, uh, you know. But I was lucky enough to have it for this month here to show you. And like I said, the LRC cars, which were supposed to be here in May, I believe, are now coming in July. So the July episode, I will definitely have some special treats. I'm just going to say special treats for you guys to see. You know, you might want to wear a helmet because it's going to blow your mind. So, you know, it's just my warning for the live show coming up in 2 months. Shave and a haircut. Never. I mean, I shaved the sides, but honestly, I could probably put the top of my hair in a ponytail. Not that I've tried. Not that I'd admit that I've tried. And yeah, this is my quarantine beard. Often referred to as my depression beard. Either way, it's not getting any shorter. And people are still asking me for Steam. It's so tough because I just don't run Steam. O&R had a couple, but there's been absolutely no manufacturer that stepped up and said, oh, well, here, let's do a short line steam locomotive, and we'll pick this Ontario Northland one to do. Nope. Other than that, I mean, I was looking at the Royal Hudsons, but they're so last year, unfortunately. So I think it's a little late for me to get one of those. I think at the time it was either Tempo Set or Royal Hudson, and I picked the lesser of two evils. And I definitely went with what I felt was the better choice, better fitting for what I run. And I've never been happier with my Tempo Set. I love it. Lots of other people that have seen it running, or heard the locomotive, or even held one of their passenger cars, have been over the moon about it. So, and the same thing with the Hudson. I mean, a lot of people love the Hudson, but where are the passenger cars? Where are the Royal Hudson passenger cars? Guess we have to wait for those. But I didn't really feel that it was necessary to get a Royal Hudson if I don't have cars to pull it. I at least like it to make sense in that way. But it is what it is. Do I have Train Sim World on PS4? They just released the CN Oakville Subdivision. Now, I've never played a train simulator game. I did see it on the Xbox Live there, where you can download it for free, like a free version of it. But, I mean, most of the time I'm just shooting things, I play games where I end up shooting, or whatever, I have to be very cautious, obviously, because I've got kids, and my kids play the video games, so I have to make sure that if I'm playing something, it's appropriate for them. Like, my oldest kid loves Fortnite. Yeah, it happens, and then I get suckered into it, and I play it too, and then it's, Dad, look at this. Can you do this? It is what it is. It's fun. I grew up playing video games and playing with trains. It's what I enjoy doing. It's who I am, and I do a little bit of everything. I don't stick to just one thing. I do put a lot of time and effort into this, more so than the video games, but I do have times where I do step away from this and just chill out and play video games, and it's fun. It's not. It's just that mindless entertainment where this is like my calm down and go to my happy place. SMT, didn't you have a video game channel? I don't know. I'm just giving you a hard time. What was that channel? Oh, good. Creepers, Minecraft. I went through a stint of Minecraft as well, just because I love building things. So, yeah, it's a very mindless entertainment. I just, you do whatever, you plug in for 30, 40 minutes. Sometimes you get stuck until you're up until 2 a.m. You're just killing time. Right? It is fun. Most of them are. I mean, I don't play the ones that aren't fun, but we all have our moments. Oh, and again, I do go back through the chat. I know I probably missed a whole lot of conversation. If I missed any notes there or anything, sorry. Sometimes I get so busy or wrapped up in talking about the things that I want to talk about that I don't get to fully answer everybody's question. Oh, even Perry's saying Need for Speed, right? Need for Speed, but that dates back to PlayStation 2 with Need for Speed Underground. I mean, the older guys might remember that one, early Xbox, early PlayStation. I loved Need for Speed Underground. you know, do up the cars with the underglow, and yeah. Yeah, Mario. I still have a Nintendo 64. It's the clear purple one. GoldenEye. Uh, that was my high school days. After school, me and like, you know, a couple of my friends would be playing GoldenEye, or Smash Brothers, like those classics. Ocarina of Time, I can still plug in and play, and I loved it. Some of the earliest PlayStation games that I played, I'm really excited for the remake of Tony Hawk 1 and 2. That was my youth right there. Um, any Max Payne game where you go into the bullet time slow mo, and yeah, those, man, that takes me back. Donkey Kong 64, yeah, oh yeah. Chris, you probably had an Atari. Come on, man. If you're almost 50, you probably had the Atari. Resident Evil is a good one. I actually thought about doing a video game channel at some point, but after seeing some of them where there's just people screaming at the TV, I'm just like, no, I'm good. This is more my speed as far as like, you know, doing online content and sharing what I do. I think with the video games, I zone out, so I couldn't even make proper conversation or focus on the game if I have to talk about it or talk about what I'm doing, like narrate it at the same time. But yeah, so I mean, I've kept you guys long enough. Again, if you're interested in any of that art, you know, that just goes right back into the hobby. It goes right back into the channel. I'll be able to do more giveaways and whatnot. Yeah, and also you get a cool painting. It's art, you know, and I hang up a lot of art here in my train room. My wife just shadow boxed, and for those who don't know what a shadow box is, it's a frame, but it's a 3D frame, so you can put three-dimensional objects into that box or that frame, and then you can hang it on your wall. So my oldest son, who's now 7, when we brought him home from the hospital when he was just a baby, he had a little baby blue onesie, and it had a little train on it. He had the matching bib, the matching hat. There was little middies and all that. So we just shadow boxed his little outfit from when we brought him home from the hospital, and it's hanging up on my wall here now. Yeah. So I mean, as the last the you know, because this is gone. This is all going to be gone. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to show you what exactly is left. This might be hard for some people to watch. Others might be kind of shocked or like, oh yeah, that's what happens. But because I do have my phone and I'm able to walk around with it, I'm just gonna do a quick walk, and I'm gonna show you what's already gone. And yeah, so give me 1 second. I've been talking too much, and this episode was not brought to you by Gatorade. Refreshing. Gives me the energy I need. I'm just going to make sure that these don't roll away. So, there we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the layout real quick. Alrighty. So that's literally, we're going to do an inside look here. This is an exclusive, by the way. So literally the only 2 locomotives I still have out. Like I said, I pre-warned you. I gave you the warning. I gave you the pre-warning warning, and now the pre-warning warning. So there's that shadow box I was telling you about, the little trains on it, which is nice. And all that art is going to be coming down, and my via lanyards and whatnot. Now, if you guys want to pour one out for your homie, you know, this would be the time to do it. So this is still mostly all intact, except for the backdrop. The backdrop stops right there because I wanted to keep everything, you know, as it is, just for the live show. And my wife's coming down the stairs. What's up, wife? Whoop. No? You're shy? You're being shy? Okay, she's shy. All right. And then, yeah, here we go. So this is what is left. Okay. So this is obviously, it's disconnected here. That's out. Last module. But the entire back section here is gone. I can get into that room there, right? Because the piece is literally right here. I'm gonna save this one. I do want to save that. If you guys agree, then yeah. And yeah, a lot of it's right. Like these are all the things that held the legs up. You guys remember my bridge things here, right? Everything is basically tore up from the floor up, as they say. Keeping the building. But yeah, so I've got a lot of my buildings are in the container. A lot of the garbage is in the garbage. It took like, so far I've got filled up about 3 bags full of garbage. There's all my backdrops there. They will get moved. Tons of wire. For obvious reasons, I want to try to save as much wire as I can. Yeah, that's all tore up there. The bridge is gone. Like this entire, there was one module here that had the overpass and whatnot. And then it went around the corner here and it went over to there. So yeah. And then these 2 boxes are basically just the locomotives and some rolling stock. But yeah, that's about it. And as you can see over here, right? So I'm still working away, trying to take up as much as I can without doing too much damage. So this is the entire section that is going next. Until I rebuild in a month or 2. I guess a month. It would be a month, yeah. Oh, I know. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. I want to thank you guys for watching, for the likes and the subscribes. It's been a labor of love, but this one has. So, but don't worry, I'm gonna save some of it. I'm gonna try to save all this and obviously the building and the backdrops and whatnot. All my curtains, those are all saved. And yeah, so next time there's going to be absolutely no layout here. And that'll be the June, yeah, the end of June for the the next live show. And then the live show after that will be the first one in the new house. But until then, I'm Go Veer, Go Home. This has been GVO After Dark, number 19, I believe. I don't think that number has changed. And we'll see you on the other side. Have a good night, everybody.